This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
I'll make a motion to start the Board of Health meeting at 5:31 on April 8th, 2026.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, Beth, yes?
Steve, yes. I don't have the disclaimer, Ezra, if you don't mind reading it.
Yes. In accordance with Mass General Law, we are required to let you know that this meeting is being recorded. We will begin the meeting with 15 minutes public speak time, 3 minutes per speaker. Raise your hand if you would like to be recognized by the chair. Please note that during public speak, the board will be actively listening to your input for future discussion, but will not be responding to any comments at this time. Please do not speak unless recognized by the chair, and all comments should be addressed to the board. You can also submit a question or topic for later discussion via email to the health@easthamptonma.gov email.
And there is no one for public speak.
Okay, great. Should we move to the first agenda item? Approving meeting minutes, right?
Yes.
I reviewed the minutes. I had a couple of minor notes to Irza that I emailed her about. The first was in the section under community health worker, the second bullet from the last, it says that no decision will be made until the next Board of Health meeting. And I just had her clarify that that meant the first Board of Health meeting after the meeting, because I just didn't want it to seem like we were going to make a decision on that at the next meeting tonight. It's a nitpicky thing, but I just mentioned that. And then the other thing was the next Board of Health meeting, it said April 18th, but it was a mistype. It was supposed to be April 8th. So she said she corrected those two things. Otherwise, I had no concerns.
Yeah, I also didn't have any concerns, and I agree with the corrections. So with the corrections stated, I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from March 11th, 2026.
And I will second that motion. All in favor, Beth, yes?
Steve, yes.
All right. The next agenda item, I'm sorry, I don't have it open. Do you mind saying what it is, Steve?
Sure. It's the Director of Public Health update. Ryan, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And I'll be brief. All routine inspections for March were up to date. We were able to get schools completed. Housing court update. I just heard from the city's attorney on Monday that the appeal for 21 Lovefield was denied. So the Board of Health is free to move forward with cleaning the property and abating the health violations. So that is scheduled to take place on Friday the 10th. Fiscal year 27 budget. Mayor Derby met with all department heads this afternoon. The city is in a difficult spot. There's a budget deficit for fiscal year 2027. So there's no foreseeable future for when we will be able to hire a public health nurse or a community outreach worker. The mayor is proposing to city council tonight implementing an override for Easthampton. If that were to pass, then we would potentially have the budget for these workers, but right now, for the foreseeable future where the budget stands, it's not looking like that is going to be filled. Those positions are going to be filled anytime soon. And then the infectious disease report for February, both COVID and the flu were significantly down from January. In Easthampton, there were 9 reported flu cases and 15 reported coronavirus cases. And then just a couple quick upcoming items. I'm hoping can reschedule the nicotine-free generation public forum. The date of next Tuesday doesn't work, but I was wondering, Steve specifically, I spoke with Beth, and does the 29th work for you? That is going to be a Wednesday around at 6:30. Oh, you're muted, Steve.
Oh, sorry, that works for Beth, you said?
Yes,
Yeah, that works for me. What time?
6:30.
Okay,
Okay. I'll get that information out to all of the retailers, the tobacco retailers, and get it posted back on the website so they're aware. And just a couple other quick things. We are in the process of working on our online permitting software and online inspection software. So hopefully that'll be up and running in the near future. And then one exciting note, Easthampton won a grant to host FIFA watch parties at Millside Park in June. So there's going to be about, I think it's 8 World Cup game watch parties at Millside Park, where there will be mobile food trucks, and it's going to be a very, very exciting. So I'm super excited about that. And that is all I have.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that.
It's nice to have some good news.
Yeah. All
what's
right.
the budget?
So, go
Sorry.
ahead.
What's the budget deficit for the city?
I don't have the exact deficit. It's somewhere between 5 and 7 million, I think.
Yeah,
But the mayor stated that, you know, his goal is to not to cut any staff,
sure.
and it would be the first override Easthampton has requested in its history. So we'll see.
Okay,
So just to confirm, we will plan on that hearing.
Public forum, not
Sorry, public forum on what was the date again? I'm sorry, 29th.
Wednesday, April 29th at
Okay.
6:30 at City Hall.
Very good. All right. Thanks, Ryan. Next we have the health inspector update. Kelsey.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So just a few updates from the inspector. So for events, I have scheduled camp trainings. So I'll be doing those presentations for the directors and the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And from there, we'll be able to start receiving applications and then scheduling inspections. The spring farmers market's in May. So we're getting a couple people that are also beginning to get their applications in. And then inspections, kind of what Ryan touched on, is permit eyes. IRSA has been working super hard. And Chris looking at the kind of tweaks, because we're really trying to get that up and running as soon as we can, but we also wanted to submit it as smoothly as possible so there's not as many problems once it is up live. But working on that so we can get that going. 3-month tracker, I'm trying to get that down. I'm down to 13 establishments. And then we're working on our April biannual inspections. We've reached in 2026 300 inspections already. That's going to complaints, going to housing inspections, food inspections, doing plan reviews. That's all the stuff those are our numbers so far. I think that's almost double of what we were last year. So that's a good start for us, definitely. And then there's a couple new places, new ownership. So there's a gelato shop, a non-dairy place opening up in Pleasant Street. It's called Smudge. So I've got that plan review going. And then there's new owners to Dynasty Gourmet. So I've been working with them on a new plan review because the last owner, he opened like 15 years ago. So he never submitted any of that stuff. So we're kind of backtracking there and just making sure we have all the documentation going. Marigolds, they have a new plan review. They're actually, I think they added a bigger kitchen portion. They're putting in a wood stove fire for pizzas and calzones and stuff. So I'm also approving that. And then, of course, it's mobile food truck inspections. So we have plenty of those going. I do them a couple a week pretty much. And then short-term rentals, we're getting on that as well. It's all the Airbnbs. I believe Ryan has the application all set for that as well, for those people to start applying to those. And then I kind of already touched on camps. And then I listed in my document, my memo, all of the places that are approved, the mobile food trucks. Those are all up to date on the website as well. For housing, we've had, 6 total for housing regular, and then 5 nuisance. For current updates, 531 East Street with all the bulky stuff, he finally got somebody to go there for junk removal. It's not the best, but I'm finally seeing some improvement, which is good. So I'm going there about every month, and I told him I want a list of things that he's gotten rid of so I can actually gauge what's going on there. And then for the RV on lot 37, he actually has, of yesterday, a potential buyer to take that out of there. So that's a positive. We'll see if it falls through. I hope it does, but he is always communicating with me. He's trying his best, so I'm just continuing to work with him. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
All right, thank you. I'm just reviewing your memo, and yeah, well, it looks great. Thank you for staying on top of all that.
No problem.
Yes, it's definitely a lot of work, and I've noticed a little bit of improvement. Who's been cleaning up on Lovefield?
I think that's the city, isn't it, Ryan?
I noticed a little bit.
No, so the owner, so we had it scheduled to get cleaned up last month. Then the owner requested a stay pending appeal, and the owner got the dumpster. So the city moved the car, and then the city had to stop. So the owner got the dumpster, put the dumpster there. But there hasn't been too much improvement, just a little bit on the driveway. The back's the exact same. So the city's just going to go in there and just get everything out on Friday.
And then they'll invoice the owner.
You got it.
I mean, I'm happy there's progress, and this might be like a tool we could use going forward around the city. I wasn't sure if 166 and 168 Holyoke Street's on your guys' radar. It's the house between Holyoke Street and Hendrick Street. I don't know if it's abandoned or what. I can send you more information after the meeting.
Right at the bottom of the mountain. Is that the one you're talking about?
On the left, if you're coming down, yeah.
We'll swing by tomorrow. We'll take a look.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you guys for the hard work. I know it's a lot. You're doing great.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Let's see. Next is our community health worker updates.
Okay. All right. So, in the last meeting that we had, I know that you had requested some deliverables. I attached those to my memo. I don't know if you both had time to review, and so one of them was the a review of the authorities granted to you as the Board of Health, particularly for the nicotine-free generation policy. So I sort of gave you all of the language that exists locally and at the state level that sort of guides what it is that you are allowed to do in terms of this policy. So, once we have the forum, that will sort of inform how you move forward and, which sort of policy levers you want to pull, on behalf of the community. So there's that. And then also there is, I know you technically said like a one pager would be helpful, but there was so much information that a one pager didn't make sense, but it's fine. We can print on both sides, for a single page. So that was also included at the back of the memo. So before I move on, were there any questions about those two attachments? Does everything look good? Because I'm happy to make changes, but if it's fine for you, I can start the printing process to make sure that we have those for the forum.
No, this is great. I really appreciate all the information. Yeah, I think it's important to include all of this information on the document. So I think 2 pages is fine.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm just not sure if it's like a file issue, but when I download it, it's kind of grainy. I just want to make sure we print it. It's a little more legible, but like I said, it could have just been the printer and the computer I was using at the time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm seeing it fine on my computer right now. I don't know.
Yeah, it might just be when you print. So just test it before you mass produce.
Sure. Yep, absolutely. That's good to know. Thank you for that. Okay, yeah, so and then also I wanted to let you know that the just since the memo was sent out, I've made a little more progress moving forward on the Remembrance Garden with the opioid funds. So I have met with all of the stakeholder groups. I've been receiving letters of support. So that's all going well. And then I met with Ava at City Hall. So she's our conservation agent. We went down to the site and just did a site evaluation. Really what she was looking for is, are there any, major concerns that the Conservation Commission might call out? And we talked about, ways to, make the design more successful. One thing that I think is really helpful, particularly, is because the goal is to have a native pollinator garden. The state provides like a waiver process that you don't need to get native pollinator plants pre-approved by the Conservation Commission, just because it's a priority that if we're ever going to put new plants in, that it contributes to the natural ecosystem in Massachusetts. So I have added in probably about a dozen or so different plants. So when I was talking with some folks at the Bees Committee, they said, yeah, the list that you have is great. But, if you do a sort of combination of grasses and sedges and, and some ground cover type plants, it allows for the native pollinator garden to have a more, biodiverse group of plants that will interplay off of one another and make the whole garden more healthier. So I appreciate all of those folks for providing that support. And then I have just met with the Council on Aging today to do the final planning steps for the Honoring Choices Ambassadors training that Urza and I are going to do with the Council on Aging. We're looking at maybe 26 residents that we're going to do in this first round, and just walk them through how to identify a healthcare proxy and who your healthcare agent is. And we will be bringing our laminating machine over as well. So when they fill out the cards, they won't just be paper, they'll be, a little more sturdy. So folks can have them in their wallets or their purses or backpacks or whatnot. Yeah, and then I would say the last piece is I've been meeting with a lot of stakeholder groups and different local governments on best practices and pitfalls to avoid in how Easthampton designs its opioid abatement steering committee or work group, or whatever we want to call it, who will be able to decide how the city spends monies from this fund in equitable ways. For families and friends that have lost folks to overdose. So I'm learning a lot. A lot of it did feel intuitive, but even some just really broad things that I hadn't considered, which is, to set money aside to train the folks that work in the funeral homes in Easthampton, because they're actually the first line of intervention with families that are experiencing overdose deaths. And so, I think that's absolutely something we can, easily get set up and, reach out to our community partners and say, here's some funding that you can utilize. Please train, folks that work in our funeral homes on how to support families when they're experiencing grief in the immediate aftermath of finding out that one of their loved ones have passed away. So there's some really smart policy work happening there, a lot of human policy work. So it's moving in the correct direction that I wanted it to. And then the last piece is that I do have the Kratom memo for you all, and I also have it's probably more than you'll need, but I figured better to give you everything than to not give you enough. But I also have a literature review on everything related to Kratom and how it's manufactured and how it's sold within the United States, and what happens when we work with adulterated products that have been their concentrations have been changed beyond what the actual natural product looks like. So I will work with Ariza to get that information sent over to you. I'll probably do it a little bit sooner than the next community health worker report, just because some of it's a little more heady in some of the biochemical language, but hopefully it is not too nerdy for you all to follow along. So and then when we come back at our next meeting, more than happy to answer questions for you on what I've presented. So I think that's it for me. If there's anything you would like for me to do between now and the next meeting, again, feel free to ask. I'm happy to produce any documents for you or look into certain policy areas. I'm at your disposal. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Brad. I'm definitely on the nerdy side as well. So I look forward to reading your detailed report. Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for all that work. I don't have any specific questions or asks before the next meeting. Steve?
No, thank you. I look forward to reading it too. I'll just pretend I'm slow at work. Keep reading.
Great. And we will see you at the it's not a hearing.
Forum. That's correct.
Forum.
Yeah, right. I've prepared a presentation. It will be a presentation to the two of you, but it is also, of course, to inform the public about what it is that we're talking about. So I've got a PowerPoint slide and some talking points that really is the sort of one pager that you've received. It's all of that information in a more visual presentation. So I am prepared to deliver that for you. I would say maximum 10 minutes to cover the material. So it's short, sweet, and punchy is my goal to get the information across to you. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any Board of Health regulations review or discussion?
Just real quick, Kelsey mentioned it. City Council did approve the short-term rental ordinance that's going into effect June 1st. There's about 35 short-term rentals in Easthampton, and we have the application completed and posted online. We're going to mail those out to all the short-term rentals in Easthampton and hopefully get those all inspected and permitted prior to June 1st. But the Board of Health does oversee the permitting of short-term rentals. So if any hearings are requested, it would be the same as if a food establishment or housing requested a hearing. And it would be right before the Board of Health.
Okay.
And I just emailed you both the approved short-term rental ordinance.
Great.
Thank you. Great. I just saw that. Thank you.
All right. Yep, I got it too. You said June 1st?
Goes into effect June 1st, yes. So all the short-term rentals in Easthampton have to be permitted by June 1st.
Oh, so you're actually going to be doing the inspections and stuff in leading up to June 1st.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Great. Anything else?
I don't have anything. Thank you.
All right, then we can move to number 7, items not reasonably anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance of the board meeting. I don't have anything.
The only thing I had was the 166 Holyoke Street, and we already talked about that. So
Very good.
awesome.
All right, then I think we can adjourn if everyone is good with that.
Great. I'll make a motion to adjourn the Board of Health meeting at 5:56 p.m. on April 8th.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, Beth, yes?
Steve, yes.
All right, bye, everybody. Thank you.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.